Now in this second video we are going to discuss about two angles. One is the angle of friction and another is the angle of repose. The first one is the angle of friction. Now whatever we have learned earlier in this video, the previous one, we are pulling with a force F. Another force of friction comes into play. The normal reaction is N for the weight W acting downwards. Now if we take this frictional force to be the limiting frictional force and try to draw the same diagram using a point object, so this will be the reaction force will be R, reaction force R. The value of F will be the value of limiting friction and no other friction, not static, not rolling. It will be just the limiting value, or rather the maximum value of friction, that is denoted as FL or plainly F. The resultant between these two forces R and FL is suppose Q. Now the angle between, this has to be extended a little, the angle between this R and Q, we take it as lambda. The angle between the resultant of R and F and R is lambda. This lambda is known as the angle of friction. Now if we can break this Q into two components, one is along this direction we can write as Q cos lambda, and this is Q sin lambda. So we write R is equal to Q cos lambda and FL, or the limiting friction force, as Q sin of lambda. We can get two expressions from this. We can square and add these two equations. So squaring and adding these two equations results in the value of Q square, because sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So from here we get Q is equal to root over R square plus FL square. This is one output. And the second one is dividing equation 1, or rather equation 2 by 1. That is Q sin lambda cos lambda is equal to FL by R. Q gets cancelled, sin lambda by cos lambda becomes tan lambda is equal to FL by R, or rather lambda is equal to tan inverse of FL by R. So this is known as this value of lambda, this is known as the angle of friction. So the second output is this. Now the first output, that means the result, we can replace FL by mu R. So Q becomes R square plus mu square R square. So if you can take R out of the 1 plus mu square, so Q becomes R into 1 plus square root of 1 plus mu square. Now in some books a term comes like this, cone of friction, and the semi-vertical angle of that cone equal to angle of friction. Now this is nothing but the same diagram, that is R. This was the value of limiting friction. Now this was Q. Now if you can draw a cone like this, so this angle becomes the semi-vertical angle. Now if we can compare these two diagrams, the semi-vertical angle becomes the angle of friction. The second most important thing is the angle of repose. By definition it goes like this: maximum value of the angle of inclination. That means if we take an inclined plane, like this is the angle of inclination of an inclined plane, for which an object is just on the verge of downward motion, just on the verge. If we keep the body here and we slowly try to increase the value of this inclination, like this, slowly try to increase it, at a point of time or at a particular angle of inclination, the body will have a tendency to fall downwards. That is on the verge of, it is not falling down, but it is on the verge of downward motion due to its own weight. That means now we have to understand how the components of this weight is divided into two parts. One is this mg acting downwards. That means one part will act like this and another component will act along the inclination. Now if this angle is alpha, this angle is also alpha. So this mg component, mg is divided into two components. One is mg cos alpha and along the incline it is mg sin alpha. So due to its own weight, that means a component of its own weight, that is mg sin alpha, is called the angle of repose. Now this mg sin alpha is responsible for the body to move downwards, and this component will always act downwards even if frictional force is present or absent, and the normal reaction will act in opposite direction to this mg cos alpha component. So R becomes equal to mg cos alpha, and this mg sin alpha is an unbalanced force. It has no balancing component which helps the body to move downwards along the inclined plane, and this direction will ever remain in the same direction. So mg sin alpha is responsible or helps the body to moves downwards. Now we try to draw the diagram again. Now this is mg acting along the downward direction towards the center of the earth. This is alpha. We divide this mg into two components. Now if this is alpha, this is also alpha. We can get this value as alpha by doing simple angle calculations. Divide mg into two components, mg cos alpha and mg sin alpha. The reaction force will act in the opposite direction to mg cos alpha. Now if there is friction present, so the frictional force will act in the opposite direction. The block will try to move down and the frictional force will be acting in the opposite direction. Now we have already studied that F is equal to mu R. Now mu, in the cases where the body was kept on the ground, we replaced R as mg, but here we have to replace R as mg cos theta. When the body was placed on the ground like this, now this R was equal to mg. The frictional force acting in the opposite direction, we are pulling with the force P. So F was equal to mu R. We replaced R as mg because R was acting in the opposite direction to mg. But here, along the inclined plane, R will be acting in the opposite direction to mg cos alpha. So be very careful to replace it by mg cos alpha and not by mg. So along the inclined plane, the frictional force which is acting upwards and preventing the body to move downwards, if the body has a tendency to move downwards but it is not moving, it is on the verge of moving, that means mg sin alpha is being balanced by this frictional force. Mg sin alpha is balanced by this frictional force. So the body is on the verge of moving, not falling, on the verge of falling. That means it is just balanced. Mg sin alpha is the angle at which this thing occurs, that is the balancing. The body is on the verge of moving. That angle is known as the angle of repose. So this alpha is known as the angle of repose, where this equation is true, where this equation is successful. Now we replace F by mu mg cos alpha, mu mg cos alpha. So mg gets cancelled because neither m nor g is equal to 0. So mu becomes sin alpha by cos alpha. That means equal to tan alpha. Here also, similar to the case that we studied, angle of friction, there also mu is equal to tan of the angle of friction. Here also mu is equal to tan of the angle of repose. So mu is equal to tan of angle of repose. So we can write from 1 we had got mu is equal to tan of lambda. Here we have got mu is equal to tan of alpha. So can we write lambda is equal to alpha, angle of friction is equal to angle of repose. Now, the use of this angle of repose in the problems that we will be facing, the mathematical problems, is that whenever we have to write the equations, or we are given with a problem, the angle or the value of mu is not given. Instead, the value of alpha is given. That is, the angle of repose is given. That directly the value of mu is not in the problem. Then we have to understand that the angle of repose, we have to find the tangent of that value, that is equal to mu. Now in this part we are going to discuss about two things. One is equilibrium of a body on an inclined plane, and acceleration of a body on an inclined plane. So whenever we are trying to discuss about the equilibrium and as well as the acceleration of a body on inclined plane, there must be the presence of an external force like this. Suppose this is theta. Can close it. Now this is pulled with a force F in this direction at an angle of suppose alpha. So F cos alpha and F sin alpha are the two components of this force. Also, we have learned how to break up mg into two components, mg sin alpha and mg cos alpha, and also the reaction force are acting in the opposite directions. So these are the breakup of the forces that we need here. So F is the external force applied on the body to pull the body in the upward direction of the inclined plane. So we can get two equations. Now one thing you must keep in mind, that theta is greater than the angle of repose. Theta is greater than angle of repose. As theta is greater than the angle of repose, the frictional force here alone is not sufficient to keep the body at rest. That means if the body is moved along the inclined plane in the upward direction, the frictional force will act in the downward direction, or rather in the opposite direction. That means mg sin alpha and frictional force will act in the same direction. Now if the value of theta is greater than the angle of repose, the frictional force alone is not sufficient to keep the body at rest. An external force F. Now this force F is applied to prevent the falling of the body due to mg sin alpha and F. Because if you pull the body in the upward direction, the frictional force will act in the downward direction. So frictional force and mg sin alpha combined forces will make the body to move downwards, which we are going to prevent it with a force F. So two equations we can write. The frictional force F plus mg sin alpha is equal to F F plus mg sin alpha is equal to F cos alpha. Here the body is about to move in the upward direction, so F plus mg sin alpha acting downwards will be balanced by the component of F in the upward direction, and another equation along the y direction will be R plus mg R plus F sin alpha, R plus F sin alpha is equal to mg cos alpha. Now solving these two equations, R plus F sin alpha is equal to mg cos alpha. Now this is the first equation, this is the second equation. Now we have to solve these two equations to find out the value of F. Just a mistake done. That means this will be mg sin theta, not alpha. So mg cos theta, mg sin theta, not alpha. Alpha is this angle and not this angle. So we replace F as mu r plus mg sin theta equal to F cos alpha. Now what is R? R is mg cos theta minus f sin alpha plus mg sin theta is equal to f cos alpha. Now bringing the values of the terms f onto one side, we get minus mu f sin alpha minus f cos alpha, and bringing all the mg terms onto the right hand side, we get minus mu mg cos theta. So multiply the equation with minus, we get all plus sign. Taking f common here, mu sin alpha plus cos alpha, mg common here, we get sin theta plus mu cos theta. So f is equal to mg into sin theta plus mu cos theta by mu or rather cos alpha by mu sin alpha. So this is the value of f. Now we replace the value of mu with tan lambda, that is the angle of friction. Cos alpha plus tan lambda sin alpha. Now tan lambda can be written as sin lambda by cos lambda. Sin lambda by cos lambda cos theta by cos lambda is equal plus sin lambda cos lambda sin alpha. Multiply the numerator and denominator with cos lambda, we get sin theta cos lambda sin lambda cos theta by cos alpha cos lambda plus sin lambda sin alpha. Now according to trigonometry, these are compound angles. So sin of theta plus lambda, and the denominator becomes sin of alpha minus lambda. Sorry, cos of theta plus lambda, cos of alpha minus lambda. So for given values of theta and alpha, this is f. For f to be minimum, the denominator should be maximum. Cos of alpha minus lambda is equal to 1. So that means equal to cos of 0. So alpha minus lambda is equal to 0. Alpha is equal to lambda. Now f minimum, what is the value of f minimum now? This is the value. This was the expression of f. We replace alpha as lambda, so sine of theta and lambda remains the same way. So theta plus lambda, and the numerator and the denominator becomes 1. So this is the value of f, the minimum value of f. Now the special cases where the force f is applied along the plane, that means alpha 0. Alpha will be replaced as 0. Means the force was acting in this direction, not in an angle. So in this case, alpha will be equal to 0. So sine of theta plus alpha, theta plus lambda by minus cos lambda. Cos of minus lambda means cos lambda. So in the previous case, as we had just discussed, we discussed about an external force which acting in the upward direction was helping the body to be in equilibrium. That is, the body was about to move up along the inclined plane. The body was about to move in the upward direction, but it was not moving in the upward direction. It was just about to move in the upward direction. Now we are going to discuss about a force which will prevent the body in the prevent the falling of the body in the downward direction in the next video.